In this segment, we're going to be talking about how to lead through adversity. There's a lot of that happening right now, and leadership coach and trainer Tessa Kampen is going to help give us some tips on how to lead through adversity. So thank you, Tessa, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. This is such a great topic because we're in uncharted territories right now. There's a lot of different things happening, but leaders still have to lead their teams.
Absolutely.
So what are some challenges that really leaders are facing right now that they haven't had to face before?
That's a great question. I was thinking about that over the past couple of days. I think the biggest challenge we're having right now is that we can get caught up in being a reactive leader. You know, although none of us were prepared for this, there's no way to really prepare for this. Leaders have actually been prepared for this exact moment, really, if you know, for a long time. And so it's really important for us to not fall into the trap of, sorry, my camera here, the trap of being reactive leaders and falling into what everyone else is saying online. So the most important thing that I would really suggest in that challenge is that we need to be a voice that is different than the voice we're hearing online right now.
So do you say reactive? What are some examples of a reactive nature from a leadership perspective?
Most of us, leaders or not, we are feeling anxiety, as you shared, you know, in the beginning, worry, fear, and those are all emotions that anyone will be feeling right now, whether you are a leader or you know, someone that I am or you are leading. And those are all normal fears, but we can't be feeding those fears as leaders. We can't be, you know, voicing that we're afraid and sharing that we're fearful and buying into the fear and feeding that. We need to be sharing a voice that says, I understand what you're going through. I'm going through this as well, but I know that together we can get through this. And it's really important that we don't mislead people and think, I have all the answers. Because we don't have all the answers, but together we will get through this. Together we will find the answers, and we'll make it through together as a team.
And like how you're saying, it's together. You know, you don't have all the answers. Because a lot of times leaders think that they have to have all the answers.
Yeah, we're not immune, right? As leaders, we're not immune to what's happening in the world, and we're so used to being in charge. We're so used to normally calling the shots and being prepared for lots of things that happen in our business. But when the world comes at you with something like this, it's time for you to realize, you know, okay, we're not immune to what's happening, and just be willing to step up and go, okay, how can I lead my team? How can I lead those that I serve through this with confidence that we're going to make it through, even though we don't know how yet, we're going to make it through.
Nice. And I like how even the title of what we're talking about tonight is leading through adversity. So not in, but really focusing on moving forward and really getting through this together, like you said.
Right.
Perfect.
I think some of the things that we can do if you're looking for ways to do that is to first refocus and refine what it is that you're doing. We may need to change how we do business, right? Some leaders may have to really look at their existing businesses and how do we change, how do we move forward? Acknowledge what's happening. We can't pretend that it's not happening around us, so definitely acknowledging it, but don't panic. I think panic is really a place we don't want to be right now. And so display empathy for those that you serve. Let them know that you understand what's going on. And as I said, let them know that together you're going to find a way out and through this.
So what are, like, you've mentioned some great tips right there, and you talk about, you know, what if you're a leader who hasn't necessarily shown a lot of empathy, or to the degree that their team members are really looking for right now? How do leaders get in that place where they can have those conversations with their teams?
I think it starts by a simple email, phone call, maybe even a Facebook message to them to let them know that you're here, you understand what's going on, and acknowledge their fears. Even if you haven't done anything up to this point, let them know that you're on it. Right? I don't think we expect anyone to be instantly on their toes and know exactly what to do, even a great leader. You know, it takes a few days maybe to just figure out what's going on, but let them know that you're here and you'll help them through it.
That's really nice to hear. Now, what about when it comes to communicating? You just said, you know, like to start as a leader, show some empathy, having that communication, something very simple, but that ongoing communication as you're moving through the adversity, how does that shape and how does that change over time?
Well, I think it's just being open, being vulnerable and really having those checkpoints as things are changing, whether good or bad within your business. You're still checking in with your team and your clients, and you're letting them know that you're there for them, right? And that you're still going to get through this, even if it still looks like it's a downhill battle at this point. We're going to come up on top, and so keeping people up to date and just letting them know and reassuring them, again, and not feeding the fear, but acknowledging what's happening and just letting people know as you move through this that you're still here for them through it.
Is this a good time for leaders and their teams to start setting goals around how they want to move through this?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would invite anyone, if they're open, to join us at on John Maxwell. So John Maxwell is doing a free training called Leading Through Crisis. And so I encourage you to go. I will share the details with you so you can share. And it's 1 hour, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And he will share what we can do so that we can lead through crisis. And so I invite you to watch that and see what you can learn from, you know, one of the greatest leaders in what I think in the world, but one of the greatest leaders out there.
Well, so thank you so much for being on the segment tonight, Tess. I really appreciate it, and really for sharing these tips on how to lead through adversity, with the biggest thing really being we're going to do it together.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.